back to another video from HSTV, and in today's video, as you can see by the video title, I am going to be busting some medical school myths. Now, if you're new to the channel and you don't know who I am, my name is Heen Shamaz and I'm a 5th year medical student here at the University of Edinburgh. So go and subscribe to the channel. Okay, myth number 1, getting in was the hardest part. Now, this comes up quite a lot, and I think when you say hardest part, I think every milestone at every stage is going to be hard at that time. You know, to say that like a primary one or like a kindergarten or what do you call it, like a first grade exam is not hard. Well, it was hard for you at the time that you sat it. So I think for those people who say that wasn't hard, or for me to easily sit here and say no, there's like way more difficult milestones to come, I think that would be a bit arrogant of me. So that's the first thing. I think I somewhat agree with it in that if you don't get into medical school, then actually everything else during medical school doesn't even matter, right? So once you're in medical school, the chances are you are going to come out a doctor. You know, when we look at the percentages of failures and passes, most people who get into medical school end up being a doctor. Now, I also think that at that age, it's really tricky. Like, the expectation that these medical schools have of you to get involved with work experience and volunteering, and you're like sacrificing things at that age already with your extracurriculars and all of this wider reading. And you know, when you compare medical school applicants to other degree applicants, they have significantly done more to get into their course than other degrees. So I think from that point of view, it is actually really hard. Is it the hardest? Well, again, I don't really have something to compare it to. So I think every exam or every milestone at every stage is going to be difficult at that time. Okay, myth number 2. You get this a lot. You won't have time for a social life. I'm going to bust this myth right now. You have enough time for your family, your friends, your hobbies, your extracurriculars, and anything else that you want to go enjoy, do. Holidays can still be treated as holidays. Your weekends can still be treated as time off. Is there a lot of workload? Yes, but with good organization, you can maintain that balance. I've also come to the realization actually that I don't really believe in the concept of work-life balance anymore. I think the more we try to separate the two, the harder it is for us to organize. I just think of things as life. Okay, and you have different events in your life, whether that be studying or going on holiday or whatever, and at certain times and certain days you will prioritize one over the other. And when you see it like that, actually it doesn't seem like a lot. Okay, you need perfect grades to get in. Again, wrong. I'm gonna bust this right now because you need to go on the university website and look at the entry requirements. If you meet the entry requirements, you are in a chance to go to the next stage, whether that be interviews or whatever, right? Now, the other thing is if you're a contextual applicant, someone from a wedding participation background, your entry requirements are automatically going to be slightly lower. So no, everybody at medical school did not get straight A's at school, so don't be too disheartened if that happens to you. The next one is it's all about memorizing facts. I think there is a significant amount of memory work at medical school, but it's not all memory. There's a significant amount of concepts as well that you have to learn, and if you learn the concepts properly, then it's actually less memory work because you can just play through the concepts in your head. But obviously there is going to be memory work involved because, like drug names for example, not much concept to them a lot of the time, you just have to learn them. Medical school will harm your mental health. Depends what harm your mental health means. Like, I think in some ways medical school makes you more resilient, it makes you persevere more, it makes you not give up, it helps you to set realistic expectations. Harming you in the sense burnout is also real. Like, sometimes the workload and all your other commitments can get too overwhelming, so in that sense it could be harmful, but I wouldn't say medical school itself is harmful to your mental health. Medical students are always competing against each other. I actually really disagree with this because I felt that before medical school there was a lot more competition. Like, I remember in my last year of school, all the medics, we weren't even talking to each other properly because we were so like into the application process and just wanting to, like, you know, get on top and get that interview and whatever. when you get into medical school, everything becomes a lot more chill, in my opinion, just that in that a lot of people are just aiming for passes most of the time. Even a pass at medical school is like 60%, but still, it's not much about competing, and as long as you're passing all your modules, you're going to progress to the next year. Of course, if you're one of those people who wants to get like the top of the year marks, then you might be more competitive. Personally, I don't think that that's going to make you a better doctor than anyone else, so I don't strive to do that. I strive to do well, of course, but it's more a competition with yourself rather than other people, from what I've seen. Going to a prestigious medical school means you will be a good doctor. Absolutely wrong. Every medical school in the UK is great. It is all up to you about what kind of doctor you're going to be. The more work you put in, the more passionate you are, the better of a doctor you're going to be. Medicine is not only about passing exams at medical school, it's about those connections you make, it's about those extracurriculars you get involved with, how you develop your personality, your communication skills, and that will shine through in your practice as a doctor rather than necessarily, oh, I went to Cambridge or Oxford or even Edinburgh. A lot of people call Edinburgh prestigious as well, but actually I think the reason for that is because Edinburgh gives you those skills and it gives you those networks and those connections. It's almost that access that might help you become a better doctor in that sense. First year at medical school doesn't matter. Wrong. First year is maybe the most important year of medical school because it's where you will adjust to everything, and it's very important that you go easy on yourself, but also you just try to soak up everything as much as possible. It's going to be an overwhelming environment depending on whatever background you're coming in from, but certainly coming in from high school into medical school, it's a big transition and you will feel it. So there's lots of things to learn, from the basics of how you do note taking to the language of medicine, words like superficial, anterior, posterior, medial, lateral. You don't get your head around these until a few months in. So yeah, it's maybe the most important. Medical school is only for young students. Wrong. I know so many graduate students in my year. You know, Edinburgh even has a HCP Med program now, which is all about healthcare professionals, you know, like nurses, pharmacists, physios who are already in medical careers who want to be a doctor. So it's never too late. And actually, what I would say is for all those people who are maybe like in their mid-20s and they think it's too late to become a doctor, the thing is you're going to become 30, 35, 40 anyway, but you could be a doctor as well. So just remember that, like, you can't stop the aging process, but you can decide what you do with the years that you have. So certainly don't be put off by that. I think other responsibilities do come into it and you have to see what's right for your circumstances, but a lot of the time universities nowadays especially are very accommodating of personal circumstances. So if you do have a family and things like that, then I'm sure that there are ways that can be accommodated. And lastly, medical school is about no sleep and all coffee. Wrong. I've never pulled an all-nighter. If you watch my night shift vlog, you could see that I did that with no caffeine as well. I don't drink coffee, don't drink tea, and you don't have to pull all-nighters. You just need a good sense of organisation and you will get to bed on time. You will get all your social activities in, you will have a good, healthy, fit life. You just have to organise and plan ahead. That is the only thing you have to get right, and everything else just follows through. Alright everybody, well that is going to be the end of this video. I hope that you have found this enjoyable to some extent. Let me know if you have any more myths down in the comments and I'll be sure to address them as well. If you have any differing opinions in any of these myths, then also leave them down in the comments. And yeah, I will see you all in my next video. Goodbye.